So we've set our next guest to haunted places around Minnesota. She's even tapped into the other side in the 5 Eyewitness News studios. Well, this morning, Twin Cities Live resident psychic Jodi Livon headed into uncharted territory.
Okay, that's right. TCL producer Kelly Hansen took Jodi to the cattle barn.
I'm here with Jodi Livon, and usually she's in our studio doing live audience readings. Today, we're at the cattle barn, and you're going to pick up something, we hope, on some cows and a calf. Are you excited to do this?
So excited to do this. Animals, I think, would be my favorite.
You said yes to this. Why are you so interested?
I think this is a great chance for us to learn more about our animals. We have we work with our animals quite a bit, and we like to have a level of trust with them. And I guess if we can learn something from our psychic reading, and so much the better for our farm.
Hi. So Brooke is very factual. Brooke likes to get the job done. She is a person, if she worked in your office, she wouldn't be gossiping. She would just get the job done. She would be a person that would go to the beauty parlor all the time but not tell anybody, because she would just think it's a normal thing that she looked this good or have Botox but not tell anyone, right?
Oh yeah. We're hoping she's pregnant, and we're wondering if you could tell.
Was she with a black animal recently? Did you connect her with a darker colored?
A heifer.
There's 2 black animals that are in the pasture with her.
Oh.
They're heifers, though. They're
She could have mingled with the darker one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're girls too.
Oh. Well, I think she really likes that girl.
Okay, that's possible.
In a special way.
Possible.
Well, there are times.
Okay, now what about her calf?
Ian?
Ian. Jodi, what do you see with Ian?
If this animal were human, it would like to read books.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, very much like to read books.
I could see him sitting reading a book instead of going tromping around with his friends in the pasture.
He doesn't care as much about what he looks like at all. They're very different.
Ian likes to eat from the back a lot, and when that happens, you get pooped on a lot, so he has manure on his head quite often.
Animal readings inside of a cattle barn. It's a first for me on Twin Cities Live, but I think it was a success. How did you guys think it went?
It went well. It confirmed a lot of things, and got me thinking about a couple other things that she mentioned early on that I'm going to have to try and figure out, but it's very possible.
It's a lot of things that I see in the animals at home, so it's fun.
Thanks, Jodi. This was fun.
This is great.
Oh. Okay, that's really interesting. So, Jodi, I think, anybody who is around animals, whether it's a dog or a cat or whether you're a farmer, understands animals have very unique personalities. And so when you're like tapping into their energy, what are you looking for or feeling, or what's going on?
Same thing when I read people. I get pictures. That's all I do is I open up and I get pictures, and I touch them and it goes right through my hand up into my head. So like that little cute little Ian,
yeah.
I saw a little boy reading a book. That's why I knew he would be like a little boy reading a book. Seriously. It's fun.
And they were talking about its personality, that it didn't care about what it looked like.
Yeah, you didn't care.
And I don't know if
what it
everybody
looked
caught
like.
that, but sometimes because of that, it sort of trails behind and gets pooped on.
Well, he eats from behind, so he gets pooped on. But his mom cares a lot. She was very proud. You see how beautiful she was? She was very proud. She took her work very seriously.
How do you do anything? You're just your life. You're just walking around and all this stuff's coming at you.
It would be so
easy
distracting.
Peasy. It's easy peasy, not really.
Okay, well, we have a couple questions from the audience, so why don't we tackle those? So we have some people who are wondering some things about you. Des is with Tracy from Coon Rapids. Is that right, Des?
I sure am. What's your question? Yes, I sometimes get a stomach ache, and I'm hypersensitive to people's energy, and I get a headache with that. I was wondering if I have some psychic abilities.
Well, unless you've eaten something that doesn't agree with you all of the time, I would say absolutely. So what's happening is you think that they're in your space, you're in their space.
Yes.
You need a better understanding of your own space, where your boundaries begin and where they end, and you won't feel that way. But before you come to a place like this, you got to get a lot of exercise.
Okay, thank you.
Really a lot of exercise. It's
Yes.
a good thing, though.
Thank you.
You should read my book. There's more there.
Yeah,
All
Jodi.
right, I will. Thank you.
Jodi, you're a big believer in that everyone has a certain amount of this kind of intuition. They just need to figure out a way to tap into it, right?
Absolutely. Everybody's psychic. Everybody is psychic, and everybody's mediumistic. But just like some people can sing really, really beautifully, and then they train and they belt out that song, you have to train. And some people are born kind of squeaking their psychic abilities. But if you work on it and you acknowledge it and you appreciate it, it gets bigger.
Okay, let's talk to Wendy. Des is with Wendy from Delano.
Hi.
Hi.
I personally don't like Ouija boards, but I was wondering what your take was on Ouija boards and if they attract negative energy.
Yeah, I'm not
In your
nuts
home.
about Ouija boards, and yes, they attract negative energy and only negative energy. If you are trying to get a hold of somebody who you love, who's crossed over, all you got to do is think about them and pray. You don't want to use a Ouija board. I think they're really negative. Sorry, Ouija board people, but I say
agree.
get rid of them. Don't use them. There's another way that's of the light. It makes you feel good. Ouija boards, you feel bad.
Right. I agree. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Interesting questions.
Jodi, if you were to walk around the fairgrounds and spend a little bit of time in certain buildings, in certain areas, pretty much anywhere that you're at around here, do you believe that you'd start feeling people and feeling people's energy? Because I imagine, the fairgrounds have been along for
Yeah, there's a lot of history
a
here.
lot of history here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of spirits here, dead and alive. Yeah, I feel everything. People walk by me. I was saying when we came here this morning, it's like somebody standing this close to your face all the time. That's how it feels to me. I hear people's thoughts, I feel their feelings, but if I really assert good boundaries, I can keep it at bay for a while, but after a while it gets kind of a lot.
Okay, I have one more question about the animals. So, like those people, those farmers loved that you were talking about their animals because they like to connect with their animals. That's obviously something that's important to them. So if you have an animal that you love in your life, how can you be a little bit more connected with them in terms of, in an intuition sense?
So let's say you give your animal a treat and you know that they're happy because they're getting something special. Sit next to your animal and just feel how you're feeling when you're sitting next to your animal. And then do it again a couple times so you can feel it. The next time you just feel that feeling and that animal doesn't have a treat, they're happy. You just have to look, and you can ask them. I know that sounds silly, but they can show you little signs. Animals are very psychic.
I told you I talked to Henry all the time yesterday. Chris was like, who talks to animals? And I was like, I talk to Henry all the time, nonstop.
We started a thing with our dog where when we leave the house and he kind of gets upset that we're leaving, that we tell him, and I give him a treat, and I go, okay, Sarge, we're going to leave the house now. We'll be back in a little bit. Can you watch the house for us? And ever since we started doing that, his attitude has changed.
Is that a good idea?
That's an awesome idea. That's smart. Doesn't go potty on the carpet or anything
No,
anymore.
he doesn't.
Look at that, making progress. Jodi, thank you so
Jodi.
much. That was
Awesome
really
as
fun and
always.
interesting. So Jodi has an event coming up in November. It's everything you've always wanted to know about the intuitive process, but we're afraid to ask. And we posted details on our website, twincitieslive.com. Check it out. Thanks very much.